everybody. I have a couple eagles here, a few actually, four. I have 4 eagles. Nothing too special, just 4 ounces of fine silver minted by the United States government. I'm sure you've already noticed already, but there's something different about each and every one of these. They're all equally as shiny, they're all in airtight capsules, they all weigh 1 troy ounce, they're all made of 3/9 fine or better silver. Their images are pretty similar. They all say Liberty and God We Trust on them, but they have different dates on the bottom of them. You can see we have a 1992, a 2019, a 2011, and a 2009. I wanted to talk a little bit about losing money and how we do that. However, we do treat currency as money in our everyday life, but it's interesting to make that distinction. Think of money as a commodity, as something that stores value, as something that's fungible and people can trade it back and forth, and it's equivalent to some amount of work, right? That's what money is. It's a store of work. So it's much like gasoline in a sense. Something died, it had a lot of work as it lived its life. It ate a bunch of food, it lifted its own body weight through the entirety of its life, it built muscle, it built body mass, it did all this, and then it died, and all of that got concentrated down into some sort of fossil fuel, and that is its store of value, right? That is the remainder of what's left inside that organism or whatever. Well, money is the same way. It's a store of work. So currency, however, we're using to represent money as an easy way of transacting back and forth. So think of these silver eagles as money for a second, and then let's talk about how we lose it. So we either lose it because it got stolen, we lose it because it's been devalued in some way, or we lose it because it's been lost, as in you were walking down the beach and you dropped it and it's lost or whatever. Those are your 3 ways of losing money, basically. So when people ask, how do you lose money in silver, or how do you make money in silver, it's like a trick question. It's a trap. You can't lose it, right? It's worth the silver. Stop comparing it to a dollar bill. How many dollar bills is it worth is a totally different question than if you've lost money or not. So I guess what I'm getting at are, why do I have these 4 dates here? Well, in 1992, the average closing price in US dollars of silver was $3.95. So somebody converted $3.95 of United States dollars for this 1 troy ounce of silver back then, right? Well, then in 2011, the average closing price was $35.12. So the money was the same, right? This and this are the same store of work was there. However, the conversion between what we consider to be our United States currency and the store of work here, the silver 1 ounce, has drastically changed. So let's do a couple hypothetical scenarios. This 1992 guy, right? He traded some United States fiat currency for this silver eagle here, and then somewhere down the road he thought, I would rather have the currency again. He traded currency in the first place for it, and then he thought, maybe I'd rather have the currency back, so he traded it. Well, today spot prices, in 2019, this one here, the average closing cost so far has been $15.57. So had he held on to it or whatever, that's how much he would get. It would have been a quote-unquote profit of $11 or so in fiat currency. But did he actually make money? He didn't, because he could turn around and buy the eagle back for that amount of price. So he hasn't made any money. All he's done is converted currencies. And while I'm kind of berating the point there, it's not really that important. The point is that if you held for that whole time, you don't actually realize any gains or losses until you sell the metal. So had this person still been holding on to this coin here, they would have neither made nor lost money because they would have still had the 1 ounce they purchased. Had this 2011 person still held it, they would have not gained or lost any money because they would still have the asset in which they purchased to begin with. Whether that's a devalued asset or a appreciated asset, they still had the asset that they purchased in the first place. So if you're converting back to fiat currency, if you're converting back to what we consider exchangeable money or currency here in the United States today, that's when you realize your profits or your losses. It's only then that you realize, okay, I'm accepting this as my fair trade. Well, if you don't do that, then all you do is you hold on to the silver, which we've already established at the beginning of this video, that the silver is representative of work. So back in the day, right, way long ago, silver and gold used to be used as currency, not just money. So it used to be traded as the organizational norm. Silver used to represent hours of labor, whereas now silver no longer represents hours of labor. Now it represents an ever-fluctuating currency value. So if you buy the silver, which should represent the hours of labor, and you hold it, no matter what its current exchange rate is, it still is representative of hours of labor. So as that's been historically the true measure of worth and work, then has this person really made profits? Has this person really seen losses? And what about this guy over here? Is he left out for no reason just because he wasn't at a high or a low? No, all 4 of them are exactly the same. And I didn't buy this coin back in 1992, and I certainly didn't buy in 2009 or 2011. But I have all 4 of them now. And guess what I paid? I paid whatever this 2019 guy would have paid. So just remember that when you're converting to metal and then back out of metal, you're making the agreement with yourself that you consider that to be a fair price. And know that you're going from a fiat currency, something that we consider to be a trading norm, to real historical worth back to fiat currency. While I understand you can't go to the store and spend these silver eagles because they're nowhere near as liquid as cash, they are definitely storing value no matter how old they are, as demonstrated here.